This is a summary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Read by Noah. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Lived. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say they were perfectly normal. Mr. Dursley was a big, beefy man who worked at Grudding's, a drill-making company, and Mrs. Dursley was a thin, blonde woman. They had a son named Dudley and lived a routine life. However, the Dursleys had a secret they feared would be discovered. Mrs. Dursley's sister was married to a wizard and had a son, Harry Potter. On a typical morning, Mr. Dursley noticed strange occurrences on his way to work: a cat reading a map, people dressed in strange clothes, and whispers about the Potters and their son Harry. Disturbed by these oddities, he tried to dismiss them as coincidences. However, he couldn't help but feel uneasy, especially after hearing the name Harry Potter mentioned by strangers. That night, as the Dursleys went to bed, mysterious figures gathered on Privet Drive. Albusdumbledore and Professor McGonagall awaited the arrival of Hagrid, who brought baby Harry Potter. Dumbledore explained that Harry's parents had been killed by the dark wizard Voldemort, but baby Harry survived the attack. They left Harry with a letter explaining everything and departed, leaving him on the doorstep of the Dursleys. Chapter 2. The Vanishing Glass. 10 years passed, and Harry Potter lived a miserable life with the Dursleys. He was treated poorly and slept in a cupboard under the stairs. On Dudley's birthday, the Dursleys planned a trip to the zoo and reluctantly took Harry along. At the zoo, Harry experienced a strange occurrence when he unintentionally communicated with a snake, causing the glass of its enclosure to vanish, freeing the snake. The Dursleys were furious, and Harry was blamed for the incident. Back at home, Harry continued to endure neglect and abuse. He often dreamed of a better life and wondered about his parents, whom the Dursleys never spoke of. Strange incidents frequently occurred around Harry, making him even more of an outcast in the household. As Dudley's birthday ended, Harry found himself locked in his cupboard once again. He had no idea that his life was about to change dramatically. Unbeknownst to him, the wizarding world was keenly aware of his existence, and forces were already in motion to bring Harry into a world he never knew existed. Chapter 3. The Letters from No One. As summer approached, Harry eagerly anticipated escaping to secondary school, away from Dudley. One day, a letter arrived for Harry, but Uncle Vernon intercepted it and refused to let Harry read it. More letters followed, each addressed to Harry in increasingly specific locations within the house. The Dursleys were bewildered and terrified, attempting various methods to prevent the letters from arriving, including boarding up the mail slot. Despite their efforts, the letters continued to arrive in creative ways. The Dursleys' attempts to escape the letters led them to a desolate shack on a rock in the sea. Harry's curiosity and anticipation grew as he sensed something extraordinary was about to happen. On the eve of his 11th birthday, a loud boom shook the shack, signaling the arrival of a visitor. Hagrid, a giant of a man, burst into the shack, much to the Dursleys' horror. He delivered Harry's long-awaited letter and revealed the truth: Harry was a wizard and had been accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry's life was about to take a dramatic turn as he prepared to leave the Dursleys and enter a magical world full of wonder and adventure. Chapter 4. The Keeper of the Keys. As the Dursleys cowered in fear, Hagrid explained to Harry that he was a wizard and had been accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid was furious with the Dursleys for hiding Harry's heritage, neglecting to tell him about his parents. Harry learned that his parents were famous wizards who were killed by the dark wizard Voldemort, and he himself was famous for surviving Voldemort's attack. Hagrid handed Harry his acceptance letter and began to explain the magical world to him. Harry was overwhelmed but excited to learn about this new aspect of his life. He had many questions, especially about his parents and the magical abilities he never knew he had. Hagrid provided some answers and promised to take Harry shopping for school supplies the next day. Despite the Dursleys' protests, Hagrid took Harry away from the shack to start his journey to Hogwarts. Harry was filled with anticipation and curiosity about the new world he was about to enter. The promise of a new life and the discovery of his true identity were thrilling, leaving Harry eager for the adventures ahead. Chapter 5. Diagon Alley. The next morning, Hagrid took Harry to Diagon Alley to purchase his school supplies. They entered through the Leaky Cauldron, a hidden pub that served as the gateway to the magical shopping district. Harry was amazed by the sight of witches, wizards, and magical shops all around him. He felt a sense of belonging for the first time in his life. Their first stop was Gringotts, the Wizarding Bank, where Harry discovered his parents had left him a considerable amount of money. Hagrid also retrieved a mysterious package for Dumbledore. They then visited various shops to buy Harry's school supplies, including robes, books, and a wand from Ollivander's. Harry's wand, made of holly and phoenix feather, was special because it was connected to Voldemort's wand. As they continued shopping, Hagrid shared more about the magical world, including its creatures and the dark history of Voldemort. Harry was both fascinated and nervous about the new challenges he would face. The day ended with Harry feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety as he prepared for his new life at Hogwarts. Chapter 6: The Journey from Platform 9 3/4. Harry spent the last month of summer at the Dursleys' house, counting down the days until he could leave for Hogwarts. On the day of departure, Uncle Vernon grudgingly drove him to King's Cross Station. Confused about how to find Platform 9 3/4, Harry overheard the Weasley family talking about the platform and followed them through the magical barrier. On the train, Harry met Ron Weasley, and they quickly became friends. Ron shared stories about his large family and their adventures. They were soon joined by Hermionegranger, a muggle-born witch, and Neville Longbottom, a forgetful boy searching for his lost toad. The journey was filled with excitement, as the new friends bonded over their shared anticipation of Hogwarts. As they neared their destination, they changed into their school robes and prepared for their first glimpse of Hogwarts. The sight of the castle illuminated against the night sky filled them with awe. Harry felt a surge of happiness and belonging as he realized he was finally home. Chapter 7: The Sorting Hat. Upon arriving at Hogwarts, the first-year students were led by Professor McGonagall to the Great Hall for the sorting ceremony. They were greeted by the enchanted ceiling, candles floating in the air, and the 4 long tables of students from each house. Harry was both nervous and excited as he waited to be sorted by the magical sorting hat. The sorting hat placed students into one of 4 houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. When it was Harry's turn, the hat deliberated between Gryffindor and Slytherin, but Harry's desire not to be in Slytherin led the hat to choose Gryffindor. Harry joined Ron and Hermione at the Gryffindor table, feeling a sense of relief and happiness. The feast that followed was a magical experience, with food appearing on the tables and lively conversations filling the hall. Harry began to feel at home among his new friends and housemates. The evening ended with the students being led to their dormitories, where Harry fell asleep with a sense of wonder about the adventures to come. Chapter 8: The Potions Master. The next day, Harry experienced his first classes at Hogwarts. He quickly learned that navigating the castle's moving staircases and hidden passages was a challenge. Harry, Ron, and Hermione attended their first potions lesson with Professor Snape, who clearly disliked Harry. Snape's harsh demeanor and favoritism towards Slytherins made the class difficult for Harry. Despite Snape's hostility, Harry found other classes fascinating. Professor McGonagall's Transfiguration class and Professor Flitwick's Charms class were particularly engaging. Harry was amazed by the magical abilities he was learning to harness and enjoyed practicing spells with his classmates. Throughout the week, Harry adjusted to life at Hogwarts. Exploring the castle and its grounds, he bonded with his new friends and started to feel more confident in his magical abilities. Despite Snape's antagonism, Harry was determined to prove himself and succeed at Hogwarts. Chapter 9: The Midnight Duel. Malfoy, eager to get Harry in trouble, challenged him to a midnight duel. Ron agreed to be Harry's second, and they sneaked out of the Gryffindor common room. Hermione and Neville joined them, unwilling to let Harry and Ron go alone. The group wandered the castle, trying to avoid being caught by Filch, the caretaker. They accidentally stumbled upon the forbidden third-floor corridor, where they encountered a giant 3-headed dog named Fluffy. The dog was guarding a trapdoor, which piqued their curiosity. They managed to escape and return to their dormitory without getting caught, but the encounter left them with many questions about what was being guarded. The next day, Hermione scolded Harry and Ron for their reckless behavior, but the boys couldn't help but be intrigued by the mystery. They speculated about what could be hidden beneath the trapdoor and vowed to find out more. This adventure strengthened their bond and deepened their sense of camaraderie. Chapter 10: Halloween. As Halloween approached, the students were excited about the upcoming feast. Harry's life at Hogwarts had settled into a routine, and he was enjoying his classes and friendships. However, the peace was disrupted when a troll was discovered in the school. The students were ordered to return to their dormitories while the teachers dealt with the threat. Harry and Ron realized Hermione was unaware of the danger and went to warn her. They found her in the girls' bathroom, oblivious to the chaos. Together they confronted the troll, managing to knock it out using a combination of bravery and quick thinking. The incident earned them respect from their peers and a stern reprimand from Professor McGonagall. Hermione, grateful for their rescue, became fast friends with Harry and Ron. This marked the beginning of a strong friendship that would see them through many challenges. The Halloween feast continued, and the trio celebrated their newfound bond over a meal, unaware of the greater dangers that lay ahead. Chapter 11, Quidditch. Harry's first Quidditch match was approaching, and he was nervous but excited. Wood, the Gryffindor Quidditch captain, had been training Harry intensively. The game against Slytherin was highly anticipated, and the entire school was abuzz with excitement. Harry's role as Seeker was crucial, and he felt the pressure to perform well. The match began with intense competition between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Harry's broom began to behave erratically, leading Hermione to suspect foul play. She noticed Snape muttering incantations and suspected him of jinxing Harry's broom. In a daring move, Hermione set Snape's robes on fire to break his concentration, allowing Harry to regain control of his broom. Harry caught the golden snitch, securing a Gryffindor victory. The win was celebrated with great enthusiasm, and Harry felt a deep sense of accomplishment. Despite the thrill of victory, the incident with the broom left Harry, Ron, and Hermione with lingering suspicions about Snape's intentions. Chapter 12, The Mirror of Eris. As Christmas approached, Hogwarts transformed into a festive wonderland. Harry decided to stay at the school over the holidays, along with Ron and a few other students. On Christmas morning, Harry received his first ever gifts, including a mysterious invisibility cloak that had belonged to his father. The cloak came with a note, instructing Harry to use it well. Exploring the castle under the cover of the invisibility cloak, Harry discovered the Mirror of Eris, a magical mirror that showed the deepest desires of one's heart. Harry saw his parents in the mirror, a sight that filled him with longing and sadness. He returned to the mirror several times, hoping to be with his parents again. Dumbledore eventually found Harry in front of the mirror and explained its power and danger. He advised Harry not to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Dumbledore's wisdom resonated with Harry, who realized the importance of focusing on the present and the relationships he had, rather than the ones he lost. Chapter 13, Nicholas Flamel. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were determined to uncover the mystery of the Sorcerer's Stone, which they suspected was being guarded at Hogwarts. Hermione's research led them to discover Nicholas Flamel, the only known maker of the Sorcerer's Stone, a legendary substance with the power to grant immortality and turn any metal into gold. This revelation confirmed their suspicions about the stone's significance. The trio deduced that the stone was hidden in the school to protect it from Voldemort, who they believed was trying to steal it. They speculated that Snape was involved in the plot to steal the stone and decided to keep a close watch on him. Harry's encounters with Snape continued to be tense, reinforcing their belief in his malevolent intentions. As exams approached, Hermione insisted they focus on their studies, but the mystery of the stone remained a constant distraction. The trio's determination to protect the stone grew stronger, and they resolved to uncover more about the enchantments guarding it and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Chapter 14, Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. Hagrid, the gamekeeper, had acquired a dragon egg, which soon hatched into a Norwegian Ridgeback dragon named Norbert. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were alarmed by the dangers of keeping a dragon at Hogwarts, especially given its illegal status. They tried to convince Hagrid to get rid of Norbert, but Hagrid was too attached to the creature. The situation became critical when Malfoy discovered Norbert and threatened to expose Hagrid. The trio devised a plan to send Norbert to Ron's brother, Charlie, who worked with dragons in Romania. With the help of the invisibility cloak, Harry and Hermione managed to smuggle Norbert to the top of the astronomy tower, where Charlie's friends collected him. Despite successfully getting rid of Norbert, Harry and Hermione were caught by Filch on their way back to the dormitory. As a result, they lost a significant number of house points and were given detention. The incident left them feeling guilty and determined to avoid further trouble while still protecting the Sorcerer's Stone. Chapter 15. The Forbidden Forest. For their detention, Harry, Hermione, Neville, and Malfoy were assigned to Hagrid, who took them into the Forbidden Forest to search for an injured unicorn. The forest was dark and foreboding, filled with dangerous creatures. The group split up, and Harry and Malfoy encountered a hooded figure drinking the blood of a dead unicorn. The sight was terrifying, and the figure attempted to attack Harry. Firenze, a centaur, rescued Harry and explained that the figure was Voldemort, who was using unicorn blood to sustain himself until he could obtain the Sorcerer's Stone. Firenze warned Harry of the dangers ahead and the importance of preventing Voldemort from getting the stone. The experience in the Forbidden Forest deepened Harry's resolve to protect the Sorcerer's Stone. He realized the full extent of the danger Voldemort posed and the necessity of stopping him. Harry shared his encounter with Ron and Hermione, and together they vowed to uncover the truth and protect the stone at all costs. Chapter 16. Through the Trapdoor. As the end of the school year approached, Harry, Ron, and Hermione became increasingly concerned about the Sorcerer's Stone. They discovered that Hagrid had inadvertently revealed how to get past Fluffy, the three-headed dog guarding the trapdoor. Realizing that the stone was in imminent danger, they decided to take matters into their own hands. Using the invisibility cloak, the trio sneaked past Fluffy and ventured through the trapdoor. They faced a series of magical challenges designed to protect the stone, including a room filled with flying keys, a life-size chessboard, and a potion riddle. Each challenge required their unique skills and teamwork to overcome. Finally, Harry reached the final chamber and confronted Professor Quirrell, who was revealed to be working with Voldemort. Voldemort, in a weakened state, was possessing Quirrell's body. Harry discovered the Sorcerer's Stone in his pocket, and using his courage and quick thinking, managed to thwart Voldemort's plan, causing Quirrell to disintegrate and Voldemort to flee. Chapter 17. The Man with Two Faces. After the intense confrontation, Harry woke in the hospital wing, surrounded by his friends and Dumbledore. Dumbledore explained that the Sorcerer's Stone had been destroyed to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. He praised Harry for his bravery and assured him that Voldemort had been temporarily defeated but would likely return. Dumbledore revealed more about Harry's parents and the power of love that protected him from Voldemort. Harry learned that his mother's sacrifice left a powerful protection on him, which continued to shield him from Voldemort's harm. This knowledge gave Harry a sense of hope and strength for the future. As the school year ended, Gryffindor won the House Cup, thanks in part to the points Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville earned for their bravery. Harry returned to the Dursleys for the summer, but this time he carried with him the knowledge of his true identity and the support of his friends. He eagerly anticipated the adventures that awaited him in the magical world.